At Orchids, the international school, our pursuit of excellence transcends mere academic achievement. We delve deeper, seeking to unlock the full potential within each child. Our meticulously crafted curriculum goes beyond the confines of textbooks, fostering holistic growth through a multifaceted approach. Embrace the transformative power of education. Join us on a quest to discover the hidden genius within every student. Witness the blossoming of minds and forging of futures. Orchids, the International School.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Shaping Minds, a conversation with Orchids Educators. So, today we have Dr. Vedavati B.A., who has been in the education industry for about 20 odd years. And now we are fortunate to have her as our VP ACADS for our Bangalore zone. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming here, taking time out from your busy schedule and joining us for this session. So, on the next few set of questions, I would just like to hear more about some questions or concerns which parents may have or prospective parents may have, which is regarding the everyday aspect, what we are teaching, how we are teaching. What are some questions which our prospective parents may have? And so the first part of it is, every school places excessive importance on science and math and also social science to a certain extent. Correct. But these two are like, what can we say? If there is a king of subjects, it would be science and math, reigning it forever. But somehow when it comes to language, which is as critical and as important as subjects, it takes a backseat.
Correct.
Proficient language skills and communication skill is as important as an academic excellence, be it science or math or other social science subjects. And language for it is a maze for a lot of students, be it something like Kannada for a North Indian kid and Hindi for a majority of South Indians.
Yes.
Language expertise has always been a maze for all of us, even to adults, they struggle. What exactly are we doing at Orchids so as to make the impart of language education in a very effective and efficient manner that somehow is linked to their communication skills and to the way of expressing their confidence?
See, language is a phobia for few students. Always I feel like if they
Absolutely.
get into, if you, as rightly said, South Indian learning Hindi, always it's like they feel, oh, I have to learn this doha, I have to write this essay, how I will be able to do. I have seen this children actually saying this. Even for me, when I was a kid, I took second language Hindi. My parents told me, you're in Karnataka, you learn Kannada anyhow. Please learn Hindi. So, Kabir ke dohe padho. Or then, that time when we were reading it and trying to interpret, it was very difficult for, basically, even I have faced it. So, but what we do at Orchids is, I am really very, very happy and proud to say this, that we have a topic which is known as trilingual. And any language, if you really want to learn, it becomes easy unless and until you listen to it, speak to it. So for me, I remember very well, my father told me to take Hindi as my second language because I'm a Kannadiga, and you can learn Kannada easy. You just take up Hindi, you will be able to learn. But let me tell you, for me, when I was in college and when I was in grade 8, 9, 10, I really used to find very difficult, especially with dohes and, the history, essays, everything. So we can learn languages when we are kids easily. You can see that kids learn all the languages. They pick the languages very fast. After the age of 30 or 20, if you want to learn a new language, again, you need to take it as a subject, learn, practice, everything. So I remember even today, I learned Tamil very easily because my mother used to take me to Krishnagiri, Tamil Nadu with her during my holidays. I used to just go with her and people used to talk to me in Tamil and we used to pick the words and we used to speak to them. We used to try to talk to them, and I had my neighbors, Hindi speaking neighbors. So I used to talk to them. So because of that, my Hindi, my Tamil, my Telugu, my Kannada, my English comes because I've been using this. Same thing we do. We focus more on, speaking and listening in trilingual in the early years. That is what is required for a kid. That is what we do in trilingual. For example, my name is Veda. So, mera naam Veda hai. Nanna hesaru Veda. So, all these three words goes parallelly in a classroom. We have 2 teachers in the classroom. We have Hindi teacher, we have Kannada teacher, and they take English as the base, and we try to connect. So the child will be able to understand. Now they, instead of just telling idu, this is paper, this is a paper. So idu idu paper. Idu pustaka. I mean book. If we say this is a book, idu pustaka. Ek kitab hai. So this they learn. The word book is learnt in all the 3 languages. That is what we do. And we also have an activity for the kids to make this easier. So this is what we do in trilingual in the classroom. And we have books also in the same way. It is not more of written work in the starting, because if you just get into the written work in the starting, the main objective will be lost. So the child has to learn this without pressure. That's the reason our Orchidians always feel language is super easy, because they have this trilingual base. From there they go. So that's why they will be able to connect. And also, to make it simpler, we always have simple activities like, we have like password of the day. What is this password of the day? So what we do is we just write a word, okay, and the meaning of it in English, Hindi and Kannada, and it will be in the door. It will be pasted on a classroom door. So, and it will be there for a week. So the child always gets in, sees that. So that's the password of the day. So they just learn the meaning of that word. They also know that it is what is the meaning of, as I told you, book. So we just write the book and we write the meaning. Book is a reading. A book is a subject where we have the things to write and read. So similarly, they know it in Kannada and they know it in Hindi. So that's how it becomes easy for them. So we do this as extra activity as the password of the day. So languages become very easy and super simple for the students when they get into the next level.
That's new to me. I have not heard of or known about this trilingual thing. Yes. So at the same time, 2 teachers are present in class. Yes. They explain in Hindi as well as in Kannada. Interesting. So I'm just remembering, like when we were kids and growing up, sometimes when you learn English or Hindi Hindi especially, you know the words and the meanings and you memorize them.
Correct.
One of the interesting or the most difficult challenges, they can't speak in Hindi.
Yes.
Or at an even younger age, maybe they can write the answers in English, because why? Learning by rote. But they can't talk in English fluently if you were given a chance to converse. So here both of it is addressed, because there is no single medium. And the problem is also happening if you're good, because the medium is English. Here English is a base. And you're actually practicing conversing, which is very, very different from a rote learning or learning by rote and asking them to write this 10 times and give answers. The conversation ability, which was lacking now, is given at most importance, which is a pivotal language skill. You don't have to just memorize essays and score marks. You have to be colloquial and fluent in the specific conversation.
True.
Nice. That's very interesting, ma'am. And so coming back now to the parental concerns or queries. Many schools these days, especially for the smaller kids, for the pre-primary and the primary kids, we've heard of a no homework policy, because times and days have changed. When we were growing up, homework was like a bulk of our time was spent on doing homework, so written, reading, writing, everything. But these days, many schools are adopting a no homework policy. Kai jagah to they lock their textbooks and books and everything in their locker and come home freely. However, as an orchid parents, I know that this is not a fact. This is not true for orchids. We do give homework for kids, even for smaller kids, even for the primary and pre-primary ones. What is the rationale behind this, that we have to give homework to the kid, and what is the approach that we take when it comes to giving these homeworks?
See, what exactly homework is? Homework is for us to know what we really need to take it up. See, for example, as the name suggests, homework.
Yeah.
Home mein jaake homework karo. But exactly why we give this, they need to understand. See, homeworks are the one to make sure that the child's learning becomes permanent. That's it. How it becomes permanent? For example, if the homework over a period of time is being taken in a different sense. copy that question, write the answer. Copy that
Yes.
question, write that answer 5
Yes.
times. We don't do that in Orchids. That kind of homework, copying, writing. So it's just to make sure that the child will just be occupied at home. This is not the way you need to give
What
the
do we
homework.
do in Orchids while
See,
giving homework?
Just for example, I can tell you one thing which we had did in Orchids. So we had told a child to look at the bill of whatever the electricity bill he gets in a day. So for that particular month, he took the electricity bill and we told him to write that electricity bill. So we told him that after you start the take away what you would have learned about save energy, so he was supposed to switch off the lights, and he was supposed to make sure wherever the usage was not there, the fans, the ACs, we just leave it, even in the night we make sure we don't switch off the main light for the TV which we actually use, and that lights will be everywhere. So we just told the child that how much energy we waste. So if we can use this simple tips and save. So first we told him to save that and make a note of it, and we told him to do this. Similarly with water bill also we did. So we told the students to we asked them, like, they brush the teeth and they keep the water flowing, running, everything. So we gave them the simple tips what they have to do at home. Basically we started with the electricity bill and we told them to do that. They could see that, they started using that, and within a month they could see the change in the amount, whatever the 1,500 came up to 1,300, 1,200, the 200, 300 difference made a great change. But we, at the end, we came to know this is our homework, what I mean to say. So the children understanding the energy which is there for us, the renewable energy, non-renewable resources, and the renewable resources when we do it. So we can't explain it to them. Instead of that, if we give this, they will be able to understand how important is our source which is given by nature, which we have to use it productively and safely. So this kind of homework is what we give it to our children. So as I spoke to you about retention, the retention on every day is important. See, if you want to really take something, you need to really at the same time, understand that you need to practice it. Unless and until you practice it, you will never ever, get it. So practice is very important.
True.
So this practice is what we give as homework. And whatever the work we give, now the water scarcity throughout in Bangalore is there.
Yes.
Yesterday we gave a small topic to a child about this water scarcity only. So based on this only our homeworks will be there. We just told the children, like, what are all the ways you can actually save water. You don't believe the children started getting so many ideologies. We told them to write it and just bring it, just 3 to 4 to 5 topics. One child wrote about it. In the tap, they use a special aerators and the fixing, so that he bought even that to the classroom. And he said, we can start using it so that we can take it up. And not only that, one child said, ma'am, I have seen so many of them carrying these water bottles, water back. So that if we can have a bucket over there and we can pour that every time. I mean, in Whitefield, I was there in Whitefield, a child over there said that. And we started keeping that bucket there. And by the end of the day, any child who actually used to carry that remaining water in the water bottle used to
pour it over there.
So this kind of things which the kids bring, this is our homeworks, and homeworks will not be completely just writing, copying it out, writing, copying it out. Whatever you have learned in the classroom, we actually give them 1 or 2 questions wherein parents can also not help. It is more of the child's understanding in the classroom to know what exactly the child is able to pick up from the teacher, whether the teacher is able to connect with the students. That is what is our homework. That's how it is. And it is not just burden. We don't burden the child, making him to sit for 2 hours, 3 hours. We don't do that. It's just the child will really happily enjoy this work when he gets into the home to recall. Anything you don't recall, anything you don't give reminder, it's lost. This is just a kind of reminder. Anything they say that if you just listen, I told you a few minutes before, if you just at least write it. I remember very well, I used to write everything. I used to make pointers, phrases, and I used to learn.
Yeah.
And whenever I used to have my public exam, I used to pick those 2 to 3 sheet and I used to do. But now we call them as mind maps,
No.
concept maps.
Yeah.
So I used to just do that, but that's really useful. So that mind maps is what we give it to our children, so that if they have that glance, it is easy for them to take it up and remember, and their learning becomes permanent. That's what we do it.
Beautiful. So in Orchids way of homework, like initially what you said, right? TOTW, the
Yes.
Orchids way of learning, teaching, even in homework that is apparent,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So in that
Yes.
energy example, you said the kid is learning maths, the kid is learning science, way of
Science.
conserving energy. And also there's a sense of responsibility which is instilled in him about saving energy and the renewable resources of energy, the importance of conserving and all, which is absolutely critical.
Multidisciplinary,
Yeah.
collaborative learning.
Absolutely.
So you have that collaborative learning, multidisciplinary, which the NEP is trying to focus more, and we've been doing since
from
like
that
even
s-
ages. We've been doing that in Orchids.
Yes.
From the day
From
one.
that small age, a sense of accountability or responsibility is instilled in that kid. And you're right on the last note, because I have a little one going to Orchids, and he really looks forward to do his homework. So it is fun, like you said. There are
Correct.
kids who look forward to it, no pressure. That's like his fun time.
Correct.
I want to come and do my homework happily.
Yes. Without
Purely.
involving and troubling the
Parents
people at home.
all.
Yes, yes.
Like
Not,
his
no
me time.
grandparents. No,
His
no. I
me
mean,
time.
we don't require any person to support the child when he gets into home, because he can do that happily, independently. So that's why we give it's not like pages together. It's just a sentence. It's just a phrase, probably maximum 3 to 4 lines, not
Yeah.
more than that, where the child really enjoys the work.
Nice. Coming to that, another thing, we are in the month of April.
Yeah.
Jo abhi in a lot of schools, it is summer vacation for a lot of schools, and a lot of kids are chilling.
Yes.
Though not literally, they're sitting at home and chilling. It's summer vacation. But I know for a fact that in Orchids, that's not the case.
Do you think they're chilling? Do you think they're
we
chilling?
don't have a 2-month summer break or a summer vacation. I'm given to understand. I know for a fact that we have our schools working, and the kids go to schools even in the month of April. And their
Yes.
summer vacation, summer break is only for the month of May. So
May.
they're going to school even in these days and these times. What exactly is the rationale behind, and why do we have like shorter summer breaks? And I'm not even talking about the higher grades of 8th, 9th and 10th, where we had summer classes
Yes.
to cope up with the academic pressure and because you're prepping for board exams. Even for smaller ones like first standard, second standard, even they go to school during the month of April. And this is a query and a concern and a question for most of the parents. Why does Orchids have a very short summer break of 1 month?
Okay. Let me correct you. March, we had given 50 days
Oh, yes.
vacation.
I forgot. My bad.
Yeah. And now we will be giving in month of May again. One simple thing. They say that and it goes also, and it's been researched and also found. Any habit which you practice it for 15 days, it becomes a permanent habit. Anything which you don't practice for 15 days, you will forget that.
You will forget.
Right? And as soon as I go from my office or my branch to home, I have my neighbors, talking to me. They come and tell me, Madam, why don't you talk to our children, make them to sit for 1 hour and please do something with them, because they are so much fed up. I'll tell you, you just told that children are chilling, but let me tell you, they're not chilling.
Oh, they're not.
It's absolutely pathetic to be saying this, because the scorching heat and the summer, they're not able to move out, and they're sitting in one place in the home in front of one big stupid dabba. They're sitting there and they're just watching, or their mobiles or the tabs, or watch a movie and play games, that too indoors. They're not able to go outdoors.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're doing this. So, and I have seen parents coming in telling it to me, ma'am, can you engage them, give them something to do? Because I usually, what happens is, whenever I have some time or something, I sit with my neighbor kids, give them some worksheets, give them some form of activities, and tell them to do it, and they really love it. And they are very good at art, so I give them some sheets, tell them to do this, visual art classes. I just take with them. So that's why they want me to engage. So I can understand, really the parents might say this, but they really have this. Probably 20% of the parents who go to native, they might feel because they are going there and they can have some time and spend together. But 80% of the parents, where they are working parents, they always feel our kids are just wasting time. Any parent, if you can ask them, because whatever the strategies we use at the class to make the children engage, that will not be, that is really not possible. And as I said few minutes before, if you just leave that for 15 days, you can see after 2.5 months break, when they come, June month is just a revision class. But in Orchids, it's not just a revision class, it's a continuation class, because we don't give so much break for a child so that he is completely out of the mind. And whenever he comes, as I told you, our classes, whatever we have complete equal importance for scholastic, co-scholastic, sports activities, though a day of an Orchidian is just not in classrooms, is completely in everywhere. You will be in the music studio, you will be in the dance studio, you will be in the theatre studio, you will be in the DIY, you will be in the swimming, you will be in the field, that is volleyball, basketball. I mean, he will be in all the areas. So he will have a complete happy life when he is in Orchids classroom. That's the only reason we believe that when kids are with us, they will be able to take things happily. And instead of trying to fill in whatever we say, whatever we do, we have to complete that content for the child throughout the year. And we want to do it without pressure. And this April month, the child will be having that comfort zone to take these things easily. And it's not that we are not giving holiday for 2 months. As I told you, March, we gave 15 days.
Yeah.
Maybe give them complete 1 month.
Yeah,
So
full
1.5 month is a high time for a child doing nothing. But during May also, we will make sure the child will be engaged with some activities where they feel that they are connected with what they are doing. So we don't want the child to just get out of it. That's why we have this program, what we do it very strongly.
It's very good to hear the other side of the story, because like you said, most बच्चे के यहाँ, when kids, what do they do? What do parents do? When the schools जब बंद होता है, when schools are not operational, they send the kids to summer camps. Where they again do this art, drawing, painting, music, singing, dancing, storytelling. That
we have in our curriculum.
You have in our curriculum.
So
which
they
she is doing daily in a fun manner.
See, they pay the money and they send them to the summer camp,
yeah.
Right? And there they send them to the swimming. But we have that swimming here.
Yeah.
You send them to a football, academy. But we have a football over here. So what you're doing there, we give it to you over here. So you will engage the students by giving some activity-based learning. We have every day over here. The child, as I told you, the Orchidian will enjoy this every day. That's why they don't have that pressure. Right? If you just meet an alumni of any Orchidian, we can feel that very strongly. He can adapt very well when he goes out of the school. So that's what we feel.
That's an interesting perspective, ma'am. So now, coming back to another concern or a question which parents may have. Again, we all grew up in an era where the adage was spare the rod and spoil the child. Whether it be parents or grandparents or teachers, they all used to live by it. If you don't do homework, of course, danda marenge, there's to be rod in hand. If you behave, if you are mischievous or naughty, then there's a set of disciplinary measures, and it was advocated. It maybe would have been encouraged even to a majority of the section. But right now, that is not the case. And of course, if you have such disciplinary tactics, वहाँ पे parents तो धरने में लग जाएंगे. डंडा क्यों मारा?
We have no tolerance policy for corporal punishments.
Okay,
so
but still there will be mischievous kids.
Correct.
Still there will be behavioral issues. Still there will be kids who don't conform to rules with rebellious nature. What exactly are the disciplinary measures being adopted by Orchids? What are the kind of mechanisms to address such disciplinary issues, to instill behavior aspects in them?
Why a child is rebellion? Why a child behaves differently? Why the child bullies? why the child actually pulls each other, why the child actually feels insecure in the class. There is a reason, right? We never look into the root cause. A child scolds, a child use foul language, but we need to understand why the child is using. If the child is using a foul language, what is the reason? When I was a teacher, probably because even now, luckily I get into the classrooms and teach. I remember I was with grade 1 kid and I was in the classroom, and probably 15, 16 years before, if they used the F word, fuck was very, very, a big word, and people used to feel, oh, how can a grade 1 child use this? But everyone started scolding. The class teachers, she discussed about it in the staff room to me. And when she was telling me, I asked her, I remember the name of the child, it is Samir. And Samir used this F word, Veda. I said, why did he use? What is there in that? You really don't understand why they are using. And this is really wrong. I've called his parent. I'm not going to leave that child. But anyhow, Samir was playing when I was getting into the classroom. I just sat with him, spoke to him. I asked Samir, what is this fuck word? Do you know the meaning of it? The child does not even know what is the meaning of it. Then after probing and talking to him, I understood the father uses this word at home very often. He thought it is just for fun. He never understood that word might not. So we need to understand what is the root cause. That is what we do in Orchids. We never, as I told you, we have no tolerance policy for corporal punishment. If you hit a child, he'll become more rebellion. So my sister was very rebellious because always I used to just speak to my father, and my father was, I had that patience, but my sister always, she never wanted to express. My father used to hit her. Over a period of time, she stopped expressing it. She always had a feeling in her mind, only my sister is given importance. But after discussing and talking to her, luckily we were able to connect. Then when we were able to talk to our father, my father understood that. So this will never happen in most of the cases. If you hit a child, they become more rebellious. So we need to understand what happens. We have counselors, we have Soch classes in our Orchids. See, what happens is, for example, we need to understand why the child does it. If a child uses foul language, we make sure, if this is a continuous process, we have a counselor in our branches where the counselor will go and sit with the child to understand. We have found so many cases like this, where the child is really very active. The child uses very different language. It is from the home. It might be a single parent issue. It might be, the child would be very insecure because the child would be having some issue at home. We have body shaming happening in the classrooms. We have body shaming happening at home by the parents without their knowledge. So that's why the child wants to, show their irritation, frustration in this way. But if we get into the root cause, we will be able to really find solutions. And we have found solutions in our Orchids by this method only. And we have Soch classes which is generalized to most of the kids, because there are few kids who really don't come out. They don't ever come out and say that I have this issue, I have that issue. So what happens, for example, if I'm a grade 6 child, you will be having a lot of peer pressure. You might be having a lot of adolescence issue. So we have topics related to that, like, bullying. You have about, peer pressure, how it happens, how you have to manage that. So this kind of topics is given for a teacher, and she gives this to the children in the form of a story, and the children also will take it up, and they also have situational based enacting, which they do it in the classroom. And also these teachers, when they enter in, the students have that confidence that they can go and share with them. I was sharing all my issues to my PE teacher during that point of time, because PE teachers were close to us. But now in Orchids, we have all our teachers close to the students. And nowadays, I don't see that children are having that phobia of teachers. Oh, I'm not supposed to talk to my teacher. No, I can't do that. No, we have that comfort zone. We give that comfort zone to the kids. That's why kids come to us to just share it. And counselors are like, we have that privacy which we maintain. They know that whatever I speak to my counselor will never go to anybody. So that's the reason they go there. We find the root cause why the child is like that, and we try to take it out. This is the disciplinary action what we take in Orchids.
So the key takeaway for me: no corporal punishment, Soch classes, and counseling session. Those are the three brilliant key takeaways as to how orchids, just like every other thing, this also there is an orchid's touch to it. There's an orchid's way of dealing with behavioral and disciplinary issues faced by kids.